Alright, hello, 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 stargazers. Welcome in, welcome in. How is everybody doing today? Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I can be a little bit more casual today. Let's see. Hang on a sec. Hang on. Maybe a little more casual? There we go. Hello, welcome in, welcome in. How is everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing well. Hello, Janu. Hello, MG. Hello, Arknight. Hello, Johnny Virgil. Hello, Willow. Hello, Artemis. Hello, Weston Fox. Hello, Sam Zero. Hello, hello. Hello, Caleb X. Hello, Newbie. Welcome in. Hello, Catch. Hello, Dark Turtle Knight. Hello, Babylon. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Hello, Kisakai. Hello, Treon. Hope everybody is having a good day. Hello, Stockler. Hello, Blood Suli. Welcome in, welcome in. Star being casual and relaxed, preposterous. I can force myself to try to be more relaxed when I need to because it helps to just, you know, it just mentally helps. Big thanks to Janu for setting this song on his account because I hadn't heard it before and I really like it. And I am definitely going to be using it going forward in the playlist because it's really nice and it's really fitting. Force yourself to be relaxed. I mean, someone's like, wait, that's weird. How is Star relaxed? It's like, I have to be because I'm like gonna burn out otherwise. And that background on back when you read Aroma's record too. Oh, okay. I didn't make the connection, I think. How do you like the launcher? It's taking some getting used to. My one caveat to the launcher, and this doesn't really affect anybody else, but with emulators, it's very easy to quickly mute and unmute. So if I'm switching from like, you know, the starting soon screen music into stage music, it's very easy. It's very easy to swap back and forth. But the actual client does not let you change it very easily. So I'm just having the actual client's music running right now. Because until I can figure out a solution, maybe I'll learn how to work with like mixers and stuff, but I've never understood how to do that, so I've broken settings before trying to use mixers, so I don't really like messing with them. Especially because I have my OBS settings, like, exactly where I want them now, and I don't want to break them. But unfortunately, there's no good way to split audio without mixers. There is supposed to be a tool for it in OBS, but that's how you guys, long time ago, would get those, like, every half hour, just that awful screeching. And they never fix that, like, 10 years later, you know? So, that's my opinion on the client, is like, it's great, but I really wish there was a really easy way to mute and unmute the audio, specifically because live streaming. I don't think that is a problem for anybody else. But yeah, that's the one change I would want, that's the one update I'd want, is just, some way to quickly set audio changes. Muting/unmuting via mixer is simply clicking a button. Right, I don't have that set up because I don't want to break my current settings. And I've tried using a mixer, and I did break my settings, and I was very upset, and I had to work hard to get them all back. So I'm nervous to try doing that again. I feel like recording audio in OBS is weird in general. Like in game capture, it still says audio recording is in beta. Yeah, that's the thing. Audio capture beta is where we got that weird screeching. Is muting by minimizing an option for the stream? We were hoping it was. Airtane showed that was an option in the settings. I thought it would be good. The only problem is that it will not just mute when minimized, but also when on a different tab. So for example, if I have it open and then I need to click something on OBS, then it'll mute still. And I wish it wouldn't. I just want it to mute when it's minimized. That would be perfect. But instead, it includes muting when it's just not the focused window. Yeah, unfortunately. That would have made it really, really helpful, but yeah. Yeah, so it says when window's minimized, but it includes when window's unfocused. Otherwise, it would have been perfect. That's currently where we're at. But yeah. But anyway. I just wanted to use the audio here for today. And, then we'll figure out what to do. Maybe I'll try doing a mixer before Saturday. Maybe I'll try figuring out if I can set that up. I hate when settings lie like that. Plainly false advertisement. Kinda, yeah. Because it would have been perfect otherwise. But, unfortunately. Alright. But today, I thought that, you know, one idea that we have sort of started coming up with is, what might be fun is if there are potential birthdays coming up on Thursday streams, it might be nice to not only do a painting for the character like we've done in the past, but if possible, if it fits, to also do a record associated with said operator. So that is why we are able to do Mousse's record and painting today. So without further ado, let me get this all set up correctly here, because I'm still trying to navigate correctly. Alright. With all that being said, let's try doing so. And I really love this setup! Look how cute everything is! Alrighty. Cat. Hello, Miss Christine. Cat. Vanilla. Cat. Mousse. And cat. Oh, okay. Collab cat. Aw. Alright, Mousse. Very cute. No chance for Iris art given her story got played already? No, that's not true. Because we can still do art of the operator if it's their birthday. It's just that if there's an opening, then if we could also add the record, then we can do that too. But we don't have to have the record to do the artwork. We've done the artwork alone plenty of times. And it doesn't always have to coincide with birthdays either, it's just that that ended up being something fitting too. And yeah, KLMX makes a good point. We have certain operators whose records don't particularly fit anywhere. This is a way to read those while not impacting the reading order. Yes, exactly. Because Mousse was actually supposed to be read on stream, and we ran out of time. So this is a way to still be able to include Mousse, because her birthday's coming up. Alright. It's with a USSE. It's not the animal. Alright. It's the dessert. It's a chocolate mousse, you know? Alright. Yes, I love it when we have to download new things and get told different stuff. Alrighty. I'm gonna have to- this is also a test to see how the PC client does on stream. With swapping around and things. Alright. Let me jump here. I'd just thrown her in for some positivity once in a while. I love it! Also, I love how you threw in Vandilla. It fits. Alrighty. Mousse. Sweetheart. For a new loaf of bread, feelings and affection are the best ingredients. Alright, we're testing this. Here we go. Yeah. Sorry, kitties. I can't play with you today. Here's where I live, Mommy. By yourself, sweetheart? No, I have a roommate to keep me company. Is that right? I had no idea. I would have brought a gift for her. Don't worry about it. She's out on a mission right now and won't be back for a while. She says you can have her bed for these few days if you want. Well, I booked a hotel in a nearby city. Right, I understand. A hotel would be more comfortable after all. The room may be nice, but it would be too empty without my precious daughter. I'm not sure I'd be able to sleep. So, you'll stay here? Touches Mousse's nose. Yes, sweetheart. I knew you were coming, so I spent an entire day cleaning up. Everything's sparkling. Have you forgotten? You don't even need to make your own bed at home. Rhodes Island isn't like home. I have to do a lot on my own. It took some time to get used to, but I've learned a lot. At first, I didn't know how to put the comforter into its cover. I kept struggling with it, but I just couldn't get it done. Guess what happened when I finally managed to get it zipped up? I almost zipped myself in with it. That's really something. Close your eyes, Mummy. Why? Just close them for a little bit. Alright. I guarantee you'll be shocked when you see my room. I certainly am shocked, sweetheart. Oh, no, Mummy, it wasn't like that this morning. Kitties run rampant across the messy room. The curtains have been reduced to barely recognizable ribbons. Less fortunate are the vases formerly on the table, with the broken shards on the ground the only sign that they were ever there in the first place. A kitty stands on the table, preparing to leap over to the nearby wardrobe. Mousse looks up to the wardrobe. A vase teeters by the edge, looking like it could fall at any second. Jumps on top of the wardrobe. No, not the vases! Bad kitty! How could you do this? You're all bad kitties! It's okay, sweetheart. They're mischievous creatures. Sorry, Mummy. This isn't what I had meant to show you. I really did clean up. I know, sweetheart. Let's find a place to sit down and figure out how to put everything back in its proper place. Let's see. Is there anywhere we can sit? Watch out! There's yarn on the floor! Watch out for— Ah! Are you alright? I'm fine. It's just— I'll call medical. No, I'm not hurt. I just stepped onto my dress when I tripped, and I think— What? I think I put a hole in it. That was a long day. I'm sore all over. Didn't you have the day off? I was preparing for Mummy's visit. I've been on edge for days. Shouldn't you be happy to have family visiting? Why so nervous? I've always been worried about disappointing Mummy. My siblings are all outstanding, while I'm totally unremarkable. I've no achievements to speak of, and I caught an illness that can't be spoken of. Don't be so down on yourself. Wasn't the doctor just raving about your incredible progress a few days ago? It's not enough. You don't know how incredible my siblings are. Byron is already a lieutenant colonel, and Emily is consulting for several different banks straight out of school. Violet is an authority on Originium arts research, and my youngest brother Carl— Violet? That Violet? Yes, that Violet. She's my older sister. Alright, I don't blame you for being nervous then. I got compared to them whenever I attended a gathering. Mummy always defended me, but she's a proud woman, and she must be ashamed to have a daughter like me. That's what I hate about high society. The gossip never stops. That's why I wanted to show her how much I've grown. Good afternoon, Miss Celis. My name is Bybeak, and I'm a friend of Mousse's. Thank you for mending my skirt, Miss Bybeak. I really appreciate it. I'm very glad I could help. Yes, indeed. Moose's mother doesn't seem like the chatty type. Wherever has Mousse gone? How long will we have to sit here staring at each other? But what can we even talk about? I'll just pick a random topic. Mrs. Celis, Mommy, I made your favorite almond cake! Oh, finally. And I made a custard tart for you, Bybeak. It's your favorite, isn't it? Thank you, Mousse. I've mended Mrs. Celis' skirt. Her blouse is fine. Miss Bybeak did a splendid job. It's like the hole was never even there. Great! Let me know whenever you'd care for a pastry. I'd love to make you anything. No need to go that far. You should sit down too. I'm sure Mrs. Celis can't wait to taste the cake. Come, sweetheart. I haven't had your cake in ages. Right. How is it? It's delicious. Yes, just the perfect level of sweetness and moistness. It's so... What's the matter? I think I got something strange in my mouth. What are these? Hairs? Oh no, it's kitty hair! Don't eat any more, I'll get you another piece. Sorry, they must have gotten in when I forgot to lock the kitchen door. It's alright, sweetheart. I don't mind at all. But, Mommy... It's alright, really. But your eyes are turning red. Mousse. I believe you're a designer, Miss Bybeak. Are you familiar with the latest trends? My usual tailor is rather conservative, and I'd like to get some dresses that are more in fashion. What do young people like you enjoy in dresses? Huh? Oh, knit details have been popular the past couple years. Knit details? I remember when they were all the rage 10 years ago. Or was it 15? You know what they say about fashion. It all comes back around. Twiddles fingers in silence. Here's your food, Mousse. I hope you ladies enjoy it. Looks at her cup of tea. Sweetheart? Huh? Oh, wait. I didn't order this many dishes, did I? It's on the house. Always an occasion when an operator gets a family visit. They need me in the kitchen. Eat up. Thank you, Hon. Is the chef your friend too? Hon knows how to make a lot of Yanese desserts. I pick his brain from time to time. It's a nice change of pace. You used to be alone all the time, with only your kitties to keep you company. And we're always so busy that we couldn't give you the care and attention you needed. You and Daddy did everything you could to protect me. I made a lot of friends here, but I've always missed you and Daddy. I was so excited when I heard you were coming. My pay isn't very high, but I've managed to save some money. Sweetheart, this is... I bought a tea set from Croissant. I hope you don't mind that it's not as nice as the one you have at home. Hands over the chest. Oh, I would never denigrate a gift from you. What a beautiful tray. It's so pretty that I'm hesitant to even use it. Maybe I should just put it on display for everyone to see. As you like. I wanted to show you what I can do, but I keep making mistakes. Are you still bothered by that? I told you, it was nothing to be upset about. But I saw... Wait, a kitty in the cafeteria? Where's the kitty? Behind you. Whoa, not on the table, kitty! Oh no, my cup! Bad kitty! You're all bad kitties! You're awful! Why did you mess in front of my mummy! I spent so much time cleaning up and saving money to buy her a present! Bad kitties! Don't cry, sweetheart. What's the matter, Mousse? I heard you crying from the kitchen. Just leave the pieces where they are, Mousse. I'll get a broom. It's all right, Mousse. I've got plenty of tea sets. Come over and pick one you like. What's all this, then? Who's making my little Mousse cry? Give me a name. My hat and I will show him what for. No, it's all my fault for not being good enough. Don't say that about yourself! Phew. What a relief. Come closer. Let me wipe your hair dry. You cut your hair short. I remember you used to like it long. It was troublesome out in the field, and when baking, so I cut it. It's fine. You look very pretty with short hair, too. Come, sweetheart. It's time for bed. Mommy? What is it? Are you sure you want to squeeze into my bed? You don't want me to? That's not it. I'm just worried you won't sleep well. Violet said you hardly slept when you visited her, and you were staying in a 5-star hotel. Could you really sleep in a tiny bed with me? It wasn't because of the bed that I had trouble sleeping. Violet had an accident the day before, leaving a huge scar on her forehead. I was so worried that I couldn't sleep. Luckily, it wasn't anything serious. She gave her lecture the following day as scheduled, and the crowd wouldn't stop clapping when she finished. You must have been proud. Of course. Violet was always a bright girl. I hardly had to worry about her. Unlike Carl, who kept running around after breaking his elbow last month. Did he get hurt in a match? Yes, and he hit it until the final whistle. He didn't want to be taken out. Your father had words for him when he learned. Did they win? Of course. There isn't a better team in the age group. Mommy? Are you disappointed in me? Violet and Carl have done so much to make you proud, but I haven't. I'm not talented. I don't have any special skills. I didn't get good grades in school. All I did was make you worry after I got sick. You had to take time off to work to be with me. I'm sorry. I could never make you proud. Mommy? Sweetheart. Reaches for the other side of the bed. Sweetheart, where did she go? The sun isn't up yet. There's nobody in the bathroom either. Kitty? Do you know where my sweetheart is, little one? Don't ignore me, Kitty. I know you must feel neglected because Mousse has been busy preparing for my visit. That's why you tried to get her attention. Sorry, on her behalf. Are you still upset? Will you take me to her? The kitty rubs itself against Mrs. Celis's feet, then goes over to the door and looks at her, as though telling her to follow. It's already 6? I have to get that bread baked before breakfast. How could I oversleep? It must be because I was relaxed around Mummy. The dough's ready. Now for the filling. Starts whipping cream.
Why does my hand have to itch right now? I want to scratch it. No, I better not. I won't be able to stop.
Let me help you, sweetheart.
Mommy? What are you doing here? Did I wake you up?
Are you always up so early making breakfast for the others?
It's the only thing I'm good at, and I like to do it. I never got much chance to do this at home, but it makes me happy to something I'm good at here.
Oh, sweetheart. How far along are you? I'll help you.
It's alright. I can do it on my own.
Let's see. The dough's ready. I can help with the filling. You're using cream?
Yes, but, Mummy.
Shh, sweetheart. This is some mother and daughter time. It's been ages since we baked bread together.
Yes, Mummy. Please, make the fillings then.
Mother and daughter go back and forth from the kitchen table to the oven. There is hardly any talking. A slight gesture, a blink of the eye, is all the communication they need. Fowl Beast eggs are broken and their contents dropped into bowls. Cream is whipped until filled with air. Syrup is brushed on the dough. Hot air seeps out of the preheated oven. The sounds in the kitchen make a symphony of their own.
We did it, Mummy!
Yes, sweetheart, we did.
Just in time for breakfast.
Yes, just in time for breakfast.
Maybe we can do a little more?
Do what? Sprinkles a layer of icing on the bread.
Now it's perfect.
Agreed. I'm proud of you, sweetheart. Very proud.
Huh?
I've never told you that, have I?
Why? I know you're proud of Byron, of Emily, of Violet and Carl. They're all outstanding. But I'm just Mousse. I'm not anything. I've got 2 tails. I'm bad at maths. I don't know my grammar. I have erypathy, and my hands get itchy when I have an erypathy attack.
I don't care about any of that.
Then what do you care about?
Mummy only cares that you're happy and doing what you love. I fought with your father a lot over whether to send you here. I didn't want you going to this place on your own. It wouldn't be as comfortable as home, and we couldn't be there for you if anything happened. Before I visited, I was thinking I would bring you back if you didn't like it here, even if I had to pummel your father into it. But you're happy here. You're not alone anymore. You've lots of friends who care for you.
But I couldn't welcome you the way Violet could.
That's rubbish, sweetheart. I've had a delightful time.
But you had tears in your eyes when you found kitty fur in your cake yesterday.
You've got it all wrong. I was happy.
You were?
I haven't enjoyed a pastry of yours in so long. Not since you got sick. I had an even more pleasant surprise when I walked into the kitchen. You started baking again. You're still doing what you love here.
I never knew.
Mousse, my little sweetheart. Mousse, I have a lesson this morning, so I need to go. Oh, good morning, ma'am. Good morning.
2 to go's ice. Here you are.
Thanks. I've never seen this kind of bread. What is it?
I just made it with the ingredients at hand. There isn't any...
Mother's Pride.
Huh?
The name of the bread is Mother's Pride. Oh. so sweet. So cute. Oh, so precious. That was lovely. Oh, goodness. Family indeed, yeah. This is one of the things I love most about Arknights. Operators have families and stories and all that. Yeah, it's really amazing when you think about it. It gets so... It's so personal and real. It's amazing. Mousse can never be defeated in battle, just like Suzu. Adding Mousse to my list of many favorite Arknights characters. Aww. Kitty and cats, yeah. Alrighty. Ooh, I'm gonna try to do my best on this here. We are going to, I do wonder if Mousse makes a good chocolate mousse. I don't know. I would imagine so. Alright. I think that what we are going to do next is we are going to do a transition over and we're going to try to do some fan art for the little kitty. How does that sound? I don't doubt it. Yeah, exactly. Alrighty. Let's see here. Trying to make sure I have everything set up correctly. I really, really want to try to see what I can do with a kind of more painterly style, so we'll see. But now I was just planning on a portrait. Now I kind of want her to have, like, some sort of bread design. So, wait. Bread with frosting. Would that be like a... What would that look like? Would that be like a hot cross bun or something? No, it's bread with filling and frosting? What would that look like, do you think? Would you like to try the silhouette method instead of sketching? I could. Any Claire? Maybe? It was definitely described as a bread. Jelly-filled donut bun? It was cream-filled and had frosting on top as more of like a decoration, right? So... I'm curious, is that something that exists anywhere? Hang on. I'm trying to see if that's like a thing. Oh, it might be like, it might be like those, it might be this. What are these called? There's literally just, sweet buns filled with cream. That could be it. What Americans call bread is cake everywhere else? What? I don't know what that means. I'm trying to think. There's a lot of different pastries. I guess it would be like a... Alright, let's see here. Alright, let's see. We will then jump in to art piece and see what we can do. Alrighty. There we go. Had a PC client going? I really just, my main critique is I wish it had an easier way to mute audio, but that's okay, because we're going with this audio today, because it's very nice. Alright, let's get going here. Yeah, you missed the cat record, unfortunately, but... alright, you wanted me to try doing the silhouette method? I can try. Is it this one? Okay, I can attempt anyway. That's what you're asking, right, Arknight? Trying to do the silhouette method instead? Let me see if I can. I'm trying to think. I need to try to think of like the right dessert and the right pose and everything. Oh, you know what? I should add a cat in the piece. So let me think here. All right, let me think if I can get like let me make that a little bit small. Oh, actually, I'll just reduce the opacity for it, I think. That doesn't really make a difference, but okay. Let me think. I can't do a full body, but maybe a half body, and then if she's holding the... I don't normally do this style, so we're gonna see how this goes. And I have to keep remembering that this is a glove, that it's not necessarily her hands, so she can just have normal hands as well. I'm trying to think of how to... You could have some sort of bread here, maybe. And then I'm trying to think of how the cats can come into play. Oh my god, you use the lasso? You asked me to! You asked me to, right? Isn't that what you said? You wanted me to. So I'm trying to see what I can do. You asked me to use the lasso. So I'm attempting to use the lasso. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going well. But you asked me to do so, so I'm trying the best I can. Actually, yeah, let's make it a little bit bigger. And let's do it like... Trying to see if I can... Maybe like this? And then maybe if her face is like... faced upward a little. And then, this is really hard to do with a lasso, but I'm trying here. Background music is still okay, right? Asking so I don't suddenly remove the music by logging in. But as you can just, yeah, it is okay if you're okay with that. But if you need to log in, just let me know and I can swap it. Just let me know if you want, if you need to get in. Try maybe something like this. No, it's fine? Put this track on YouTube video and loop it? I don't know how. You can loop YouTube videos? I didn't know that. I thought you used a brush? You literally Arknight, you literally asked me to use the lasso! I'm confused now. You right-click in the video and select loop. But then aren't you gonna get ads? I'm gonna get like some kind of political ad or something. How do you not know you can loop? Because I'm extremely stupid and don't know anything, clearly. Guys, come on. Alright, something like that. I don't want the face to look so torn. I want it to be like, I want it to look like the kitty is, like, going to cause trouble, but... Let's see if I can get this right. Something like that, and then we'll have her two tails coming around off of here. And then why don't we shift the whole thing over so that it's a little bit more nice and dynamic. It's kind of hard to figure out how to make it more dynamic, but... No, might have actually... Okay. What if we try this way? That actually might work better. I don't like the way the face is done. I need to redo the face, but I'm trying to get it to be like a turned face in a way. Alright, we'll try to sketch over that, see how that goes. The shading transparency has my brain stain balloon. Let's see here. Lily Star knows how to loop. She's using the lasso. There you go. Alright, let me see if I can get... I have a specific look I'm trying to go for, and I'm gonna see if I can do it or not. I need something a little bit more loose, rough. This is very much... Oh, what do I need? Maybe pencil would be good? I don't know. Try that. Trying to see if we can get a little bit of her form here. Okay, let me try to think about how she would be holding her arms up and... It's like kind of in my head, but not entirely. The way that I'm trying to go for it anyway. Like, I'm trying to get like a... I'm trying to do the thing where you would, like, try to keep the food away from the animal, but it's not quite working very well. Like, it doesn't have that motion that I'm trying to go for. Alright, you know what? We're gonna try it like this. Instead of doing the lasso, because I can't wrap my head around doing it with the lasso, we're gonna try doing it with, stick people instead. So I want that curvature here and the fluff of the dress. Let's see. And I don't want to do a whole body, so I'm just gonna try to do like a crop in once I figure out where I want the character. We have Mischievous Kitty here. And then, can I twist that to make it more interesting? Yes, okay, there we go. Now I'm in a... Now I think we're in a better position here that I'm trying to go for. See, it was too stiff before. It was not quite getting the motion that I wanted. So I think this is closer to the motion that I'm after. Sort of like the dress flying upward, and then the cat coming downward, and then the hand going there, upwards. Holding up the food as the cat's coming down. That's what I want to go for. Angel Maker, thank you very much for following the channel. Thank you, thank you. Hope you're doing well today. Hello. Hope you're having a good day. And Salmon, hello. Alright, that looks better. Or at least that's sort of the direction I was trying to go for, more so. Alright, and then she's holding it, so how is that gonna look? It's also gonna be a little tricky to get the hands right, but if I can just approximate them, that would be good. And then we'll tilt her arms a little bit so that it's not totally falling. Because otherwise the gravity of that would make it fall anyway. Notification sounds are back? I didn't hear it. I'm glad you did. Alright, we've got this part here, the hair. I'm just sort of roughing it in still. Roughing in what we want. And of course we're gonna make the anatomy look a lot nicer. This is just sort of giving us our good baseline here. Why am I painting in white suddenly? Alright. And then I think that it would still help if she had her tails out here, because it's such an iconic part of her design. So I'm trying to also figure out how I can show her... Oh, what if I... If I can get her tails, like, showing from where her back is, maybe? And also trying to make that more dynamic as well. Maybe something like that could work. I'm going really, really rough, trying to feel the direction we need. This is probably working more. Then we have all the Frills here. I don't know why, but doing like the legs that peek out from the bottom of the dress is always really difficult for me for some reason. She does have a capelet, yeah. I saw that and I was like, ooh, okay. Maybe something like that would work well. And then I'll have another kitty over here to sort of break up this corner. That is a good way to add extra composition. And then I don't have to worry too much about how the legs are gonna look here. It's, for some reason, that part's always really difficult for me. It's just like the little, trying to make that look good and not awkward at the bottom. I feel like the tails are in the opposite direction compared to how she's turning her body. I mean, the tails can kind of go either way, right? I'm just sort of playing around with the way the dress is going, I guess. I could change the tails and make them go this direction if you wanted, but I was kind of having the tails wrap around. Is it awkward? Maybe it is. Maybe if I make it like something like this. Real tails have muscle. Unlike cosplay tails, they don't need to follow hip movements. There you go. Let's see here. I think something like that will work, and I'll flip this up so it's slightly more interesting. And then this is good because then we're at a point where we can show off the side of the dress here. It's still not quite there yet. I don't really know what it needs to look better though. Maybe the shoulder needs to be up a little bit more? I don't really know. Man, that might have helped. And then maybe if this is like shaped a bit differently, maybe. Alright, and then I want to try to draw this a little bit cleaner for the eyes and everything. The face, hair. I really want to try this style of eye that I see a lot. See if we can pull that off today. I feel like it needs to be closer. Like, closer up. Like, more focused. Let me see. I don't know. I'm just playing with composition right now. Trying to get something that feels interesting. Trying to... Yeah, too much empty space, probably. Unless I filled the background, which I don't necessarily want to do, but it would allow more detail on her. So I don't know. This feels a little bit flat. This feels a little bit more, action-y. The top could be flying pieces? Pieces of what? You can always have another cat here. That's not hard. You can always just add another cat over in this direction. It might make for a better composition, though. If I did that. From the plate that was pulled away too fast, some stuff was on there. I don't really know what that would be. Shadowfear, hello, thank you very much for the super chat. I tried the official Arknights PC client, and it performs pretty smoothly. I'm glad. I've noticed, like, a few little hiccups on it. And I do wish that there was an easier way to change music stuff, but I don't know, we'll have to see how it behaves in stages. I have not gotten that far yet. Alright, that might be better. Maybe the cat needs to be slightly smaller. Honestly, I can probably just, like, make the appearance of, like, a kitchen, right? Plates, kitchen, stuff. That's kind of standard for the situation, anyway. Or I can just leave some white space, or I can just have, like, the Arknights logo here, or whatever. So that's probably fine. Let's go with that for now. Let's go with that. Let's see here. Alright, I don't like this pen. I want something a little bit rougher. And I want to see, like, if I can figure out how to keep it rough and visually nice. I'm gonna try to not do, like, any clean line art for this. We're gonna do an experiment, okay? No clean line art. No clean line art. If I start trying to, polish it, then you guys can snap at me. But I'm gonna try to see what happens if I just don't clean it up. See what happens and see if I can get that, like, really rough, appealing style that I keep seeing everywhere. It doesn't mean I can't use an eraser, but I'm not doing a clean pass, is what I'm saying. Alright, I really want to see if I can do the eye style I keep seeing everywhere. Because it's like, it's a colored eye, and then, let's see. And then it's the pupil that's different, right? It's like, it's like this open color I keep seeing. I don't know how to describe it. And probably need something a little bit wider. It always has this kind of double look. What would you call that? Like, I don't know how to describe it. Let me move her nose down and her mouth down, because otherwise it looks very awkward. Should be a little bit more exaggerated. And I'll probably try painting over a bunch of this too. I'm trying to also not be super particular about the line art, because I'm seeing if I can get more of my own style to come out versus just copying the official PNG, right? See if I can make this any faster as well. Just really just playing around and seeing what we can get from it. And then doing the crop that we did earlier is gonna help me hopefully be able to focus more on a nice result on either side. So far, I'm happy with this face. I'm learning that, you know, details are not as important as the overall image here. If the overall image can read, then, you know, it'll look better overall. That didn't make any sense. If the overall image can read, then it's more visually appealing. Good. Good, good. Even when you're playing around, the lines are still so clean. They're not really clean, I'm just sort of like keeping them a little tight, but this is not very clean. There's a lot of overlap, and I'm doing my best to try to not worry about it. I'm actually really forcing myself to not go in and clean this up further. It's not easy. Part of me, like, you know, wants to take the time to polish it, but I'm going to see what we can do if we just jump straight into color after this, and then we can do overpainting. Overpainting's fine, but I'm seeing how much time we can save if we just do not worry about the line art. And if it's still appealing, right? If it still looks good without clean line art. Because I've been seeing some pieces that have no clean line art at all, but visually they're so satisfying. Like, we share them all the time in the Discord, right? Zengetsu finds a lot of those kind of pieces. And I was seeing someone on Instagram earlier today talking about, like, oh, you know, I really wish that I could work loose and rough like the artists on, you know, Red Note or something, because it's so appealing and quick and powerful. But it's really hard to pull off because you end up really wanting to clean things up. But when you make it clean, it doesn't have the same impact. You lose the impact of the piece if you clean up the piece, which is what I am, you know, learning over time as well. So we are trying to see what happens if we don't spend too much time cleaning and are just working on getting the overall shape. I'd love to do Arknights fan art, but the amount of details for each character intimidates me. I completely understand. On the other hand, you draw Godzilla a lot, which is kind of really complicated too. It's all different, or like all the battle armor, right? Like you also do very complicated works. It's just different forms of complicated, but it's all complicated. Alright, can I get her collar here? I'm gonna get her collar in here. It's gonna be a little overlapping, I think. But I do agree, yeah, the outfits can be difficult, and that's a gacha game thing, you know? All gacha games have really, really difficult, outfits. Alright, now we're onto her outfit proper as well. So you can see how that looks. And I'm also not being as careful about how the outfit's put together. I'm actually just spending more time making the parts sticking out just look good, even if they're not very accurate. Mechagodzilla is a true challenge for any artist. Exactly. Your favorite artist has an ethereal vibe you haven't seen anywhere else. Which artist is that? It's really hard to have a unique style, I think, because so much has already been done and we're all inspired by everything else. By other people we see. It's really hard to have something that comes off as, you know, very unique and iconic to each person. It's a great goal, though. You can be known for something that really stands out as its own thing, then you've got something that is special that can't be replicated. I'm saying this because I know he's in stream and I'm gonna embarrass him a little bit, but Newbie Reaper is a really great example of that. Really, really iconic art style. Ah, wait, this goes hang on, I'm not doing this correctly, am I? This goes around, but then this piece goes around her shoulder. It's a capelet, I should know this. Arknights can go wild with designs since they don't need to think about it being viable for a 3D model. Fair enough. L-Pip, the artist for Nightmare. Oh! And Arknights L-Pip obviously does a more standard art style. Okay, I'll check that out. Write that name down to look at later. Oh, I see what you're saying. It's very soft. It's very, very delicate and soft. That would also make sense for, yeah, I can see that with Nightmare. It honestly reminds me of, like, older DeviantArt. Like, older DeviantArt used to have a lot of artists who worked in an extremely, extremely thin line art, and it was very, very soft. It reminds me of that, I think. I'm not blushing, you're blushing. It's true, though. I have told no lies. They actually had to change her artist for her second skin? Oh. Trying to figure out where this needs to be. Alright. And then her arm here. Ugh, I don't want to draw the hands trying to hold this plate of bread. She's gonna be like... I guess her thumb is gonna be on it, mostly. Actually, maybe this won't be too bad. Maybe that won't be too bad. Maybe I can just get the idea of a hand being there. As long as the thumb is there, and as long as it's on a tray, then that might be fine. It would be good enough. That actually works fine. I'll do that. It's good enough. It's good, gets the idea across. Alright. Guess I kind of need to flip around to see how it goes around her hand. I need to take some time to go back and take more of those Colosso classes. Because I still, you know, I haven't really given myself a chance to practice enough yet, so I need to do that more, too. You know, along with everything else that I'm currently trying to juggle. But, you know, continual practice and improvement is important, so I really do need to make sure that I spend time focusing on that, or I won't be where I want to be. What I really want to be is at, like, you know, dream is to get to, like, a Nami level, right? Dream is to get to, like, a Nami level. I mean, personal art style, wise, I think dream is to get to, like, a Dino level. I love Nami, but Dino is, like, Dino and, oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Hang on. Dino and, Quasar Cake. Those are the two I'm really, really, like... I love Nami's work, do not get me wrong. Dino and Quasar Cake is a rendering style that reminds me a lot of, the Pokemon stuff that I used to love dearly. So that's kind of like my personal aesthetic, is wanting that sort of painterly style I've seen in the old Pokemon cards. Especially the Johto region. They got an artist who was so good at doing everything very painterly. If anyone's heard the artist, Kawaii. I've been inspired by them for a long time. Bessa. There's some problem with Elpip, no idea what it was. Took ages for the second skin to come back. Waited years for the skin, I just missed when I started. Oh no! Imagine there's crazy deadlines to do any work for a gacha game. It's probably really stressful. You have to... If you're gonna work for doing anything for those kind of companies, you have to be so confident in your ability. Like, you can't do the work if you don't have the confidence to balance with the work, right? Like, I'm not at that level. Even if my skills were where they needed to be, you still have to have the confidence to do that. I'm gonna move her chin in just a little bit. Confidence is so important to be able to get work. Alright. We're still working roughly. We still want to be able to get a whole body form done here. So I'm gonna zoom out a little, because one thing I've realized is that even if the body is painted really, really rough, as long as the face has most of the detail and focus, people don't really care what happens below the face. At that point, it's more of just, like, artistic choice, how detailed you want to be with the face. But everyone just really wants to, with the body. But everyone wants to make sure the face looks good. If the face looks good, the rest can sort of just be scribbles, frankly. And I've literally seen that. I've seen people do amazing faces and then just reduce the rest of the body to scribbles. Let me push that in a little. So I don't really have to do all these details with the belt, I just have to get the idea that there is a belt here, for instance. And this is also kind of, you know, this is a painful evolution that I'm working towards. Because you guys know that I'm not normally that good at, like, letting so many of these details go. So this is a lot of exposure therapy for me as well. A lot of you guys here know this. Like, not intentionally not cleaning this up is very much an exposure therapy type of thing. Of like, okay, you know what? It's fine. You've done a lot of this. We want to make something cute and we want to get it done and we want to be able to do a daily painting and focus and improve our skill set. And that is the goal, which means that this piece does not have to be crazy levels of hours. We are just going with something that looks cute and satisfying and forces us to give our daily practice in. That is the goal anyway. Doesn't always mean that it's the most successful goal, but it's the goal. I've seen so many people doing the you know, 100-day practice things, and I'm like, oh man. You know, if I wasn't doing the mail club, I'd probably jump into doing that. Seems like a really great way to keep your skills up. And every single one of them I've seen, the people have improved so much. When you do 100 days of something, you are so much better than the first day you started. That goes for anything though, really. But especially with, a lot of these people really do want to get as good as the gacha game artists, and after 100 days, they're pretty dang close. If you knew that in, like, within 3 months, you could get to that kind of level, if you have the discipline, I think a lot of people would be doing that. The discipline being the hardest part, of course. And that doesn't mean that you'll get to, like, you know, full-on commercial level, but you'll be so much closer than you were. The amount of discipline is insane for that, though. I don't feel like my daily practice is making me improve much, but I also don't really go all in for every piece. You do have to keep a level of consistency and effort. I understand that, like, some days you're more tired than others, and you're just like, it's better to just get something done than nothing. The problem is you don't want to end up in the very, very common trap of, you know, anything's better than nothing, anything's better than nothing, anything's better than nothing, and at that point, you're just like, you know, giving it 5 minutes and then going, okay, good enough, I fulfilled my quota. And it's like, okay, well, at that point, you are not, you're not getting in as much as you could, but you're still getting the stress of it, you know? You're meeting the quota, but you're not going to improve because you're not pushing yourself to do anything different. You're just sort of meeting, like, the bare minimum. And this is really, really common with those daily challenges. That's why the really successful ones that you end up seeing on your feed are the ones where it stays at a fairly consistent quality level. It's a very, very easy trap to fall into, to just say, like, bare minimum, bare minimum, bare minimum. And it's like, that's not the point of the exercise. If you're just hitting the bare minimum, you're not going to have the results you want. And then you're going to blame the exercise. And then you're going to say, well, I did this for 100 days and it taught me nothing. Okay, but, you know, you can't learn to run a marathon by walking. You know? It's exactly like working out. Yeah, exactly. You gotta feel the burn or you get no gain. Exactly! Case in point, daily cardigan guy. Yes! Gosh. Yeah, you really gotta force yourself to doing more than you feel comfortable with. Because if you're barely meeting the minimum, then it's like you can't get ahead if you're only hitting the minimum. And then you'll be angry because in your head you put in so much time, right? Well, I did this every single day and it doesn't work. You know, I can never get to a gacha game level, and it's like, but if you only did it for 5 minutes, then of course you can't, because the people who are working on these gacha games, they don't give it 5 minutes, they give it hours. So, you know, 5 minutes versus a half hour is infinitely different. I mean, like, a lot of people who've been in stream before, they've seen me do, before Arknights anyway. A lot of people used to see me try to do, like, 5-minute, 10-minute challenges. It doesn't matter how good you are, it doesn't give you enough time to even get the idea down. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter how talented you are, the canvas itself cannot develop that quickly. That's why the 1 hour challenge, I think, was the most popular at a time. It's like, it's just enough time to, like, not be super stressed out, but get a decent result that could still look pretty impressive for an hour. I'm just pushing these around a little bit, and I'm trying to figure out, proportions. This is looking pretty decent, though, and the thing is, I'm saving a lot of time by not focusing on the line art. You need some inspiration in that practice. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. The most impressive thing is how fast they can pull something insane out, but you can't do speed first. You can't do speed first. First get good, then refine, and over time you get fast. Yes, 100% agree with that. Which Colosso classes are you taking? I want to learn how to draw. Hello, Crimson Mockingbird. First off, if you're not in the Discord yet, do consider joining our Discord because it is heavily art-focused. We have artists of all ages in there, and if you're learning how to draw, there are people right alongside you who are also learning to draw, and it would be a great place to get, like, feedback and things. Second, the class I personally took for drawing, was Timbugami. He actually has done some of the promotional work for Arknights, before. It's a little bit not super beginner, just because, I mean, he does teach fundamentals, but it's fundamentals kind of with the understanding that that you've done them before, if that makes sense. I'm not sure who in Colosso I would say for, like, full beginner. It kind of depends on your goals. Like, if you have specific things that you're after. Like, are you trying to go into gacha or something else? Like, one class I really, really, really need to give myself the time to take, is the coloring class. I want to really do that so bad. One of the daily practice people that I follow, she had, like, the best coloring, and she was doing, you know, half-hour pieces, and I'm like, oh, these would look so much better if I had the right coloring technique, so I need to, it was funded, from Thrown Through You guys, and I'm super, super grateful, so I need to get myself to take the dang class! I've literally not looked at a single other Colosso class since, because I'm like, I need to be able to work on this class. And I really want to be able to, like, do some of the classes and then show off what I've learned in, like, the mail club or in these types of drawings. Also, Vessa, thank you for shouting out the Discord. It's so cozy here with the rain, with your stream and playing AK. I'm in heaven. Thank you, Angel Maker. I'm glad you think so. You might want to type the name because it's kind of weird. Yeah, that's true. Timbugami is the Colosso artist. It is, I'd say it does give you, like, what you need for fundamentals, but it can be very overwhelming if you're just starting out, because he does teach you, but he teaches you the entire process, and the entire process can be intimidating as heck, especially at his skill level. Alright, let me think here. What do I need to get the other arm in. How is that gonna... Okay, if you have your thumb here, I guess? I think that's fine. We'll have her thumb here, and then I'll hide the rest of the hand underneath. Because... what's that gonna be? Like... You know, I'm just gonna hide the thumb with the bread. You know there's a hand there, you don't have to put in all the time doing all the details of the hand that no one's really gonna notice. I feel like these are lessons that I've slowly learned over a long period of time that I'm now just repeating to sort of, like, ingrain them into my head again. If that makes any sense. Like, if I'm teaching others, then I'm trying to better absorb it myself. There we go. We don't need that much detail, we just need the... we just need the essence that there's another hand there. Because, I mean, the one thing you'll get is non-artists going like, where's the hand? I know, I get it. So you want to make sure that you avoid people saying stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's fine for the shoulders. Do we have room for her tails or not really? We could have them going around again, I think. The other thing is when you do rough stuff like this and when you're just sort of like playing around, you can get more comfortable with just painting right over your quote-unquote line art and just trying new things, knowing you can always undo. The faster you get and the more you do it, the more you won't, like, the more you can kill your darlings, I guess. Is the best way to say it. And just play around, see what works, see what doesn't. You just get more comfortable doing something like that. You could have the other part of her tail here. It's a little awkward. Slightly awkward. See, I don't like that crop of the legs. Especially on pieces with lawn dresses. It feels awkward, you know? But I guess for her, she'd kind of have like her legs would probably be together, which makes it a little less awkward, like in her regular sprite here. I should probably make it a little bit smaller so that we can see the top of her, we can see the top of the shoes so that she doesn't end up looking like her legs are bare. That helps. That helps things feel less awkward too. Maybe it could be like a loaf cake. Those can have frosting on it. Maybe I can still push her. That might actually look nicer. If I can get the bread in the picture. Or maybe... It's always really difficult to get right. Composition is so difficult sometimes. Alright, what if her... Does that make it look better or worse? Well, this definitely pushes it more. This definitely pushes it. Because now it's sort of like she's leaning over and trying to keep the food away, right? And now the skirt's flying up a little bit more. I might actually go with that. And then if her... Alright, you know what? And then if her tails curl around, might actually look good. With that tilt, the thing would drop anyway, the cat always wins. That's fine. I don't think that there's any illustration of a anime girl carrying food that doesn't usually end in disaster anyway. Let's make the cat a little bit smaller. So that they're sort of staring at each other. 'Cause I still wanted to make sure that her boots were showing here. Even the coffee carrier isn't safe, ask me how I know. Oh dear. I wonder if I could, maybe like this? That could work, actually. Her tails aren't super long. Let me think here. Maybe. Again, we're trying to see what's the least awkward way of going about it. Tails are kind of hard to fit. That's why Susan can be so tricky to draw sometimes. I love her to death, but trying to fit 9 in a piece, really challenging. We could either do that, or we could do... We could do them here, too. Be like... Again, we're just playing around, and... It probably is gonna be too awkward. Yep. Yeah, too awkward. I really wanted them going around, but... Alright, I'm gonna try it one more time. I'm gonna try it one more time if I can do the tails going around, because I do think that that probably is what would look the best. But let me just try it. It was also where the lasso probably would have come in handy too. If I was doing it with a lasso. Like we tried in the beginning. The only problem with this is that it doesn't crop well. Alright. Ah, tricky kitty. Alright. Let's leave it like that. Let's bring her arm up a little further. And then let's use that little extra room that we have to, let's see here, add a little bit more of the tail, perhaps? Man, I wish I knew how to make this more dynamic. Oh, actually, that, wait, that could be interesting. Having her off balance could actually, that could actually be a good one. And it would show more of her tail too. Having her off balance with the skirt flying might actually look good. Let's see here. Yeah, you know what? And also the other thing is that she's our main character, right? So with this composition, she's sort of off to the side, and she's sort of awkwardly cropped, which doesn't really help her with the main character's status. This pushes her back into the center of the frame, and really forces our attention on her directly. That is a lot better, I think. I think that's a lot better. Yeah, I'm really liking that. That also gives us way more room for the tails to show off and look more connected. Yep. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot more. The tails look more connected, she looks more connected, she is more in the center of the piece. It has more of that, pardon my language, but it's the only good way I know how to describe it. It has that sort of like portrait pinup look, because it is directly focusing on her now. Yeah, this is where it needs to be. 100%. See, sometimes you just have to, like, play around, move things around, and try to figure out what needs to be solved. Because the dynamism in here is so much greater now. And there's also a benefit to not going crazy on the line art, is, you know, you wouldn't be experimenting this much later in... After you've done the line art, you would not be experimenting this much in. So doing it rough allows you to keep making changes. I'm gonna push this in just a little bit so she doesn't look like she's totally, you know, disconnected. Actually, this could... Nope. No, I want to keep the dynamism, so let's move one of these in here so it still connects to her body. Because then if we were to see, like, here, then it would look something like this. I think that works. I think that works. I'm gonna reduce the opacity here just so we can see a little better where we're going. And let me grab her E2 so that I can see how the kitty should look. Run on canvas. There we go. I'm just trying to get a look for the kitties. Man, you know what would be really fun to do at some point? Would be, oh man, this would be a crazy idea. Arknights pet portraits. I love the way the animals are painted. Need to give him a bit more of a neck. Can this be a Vesa cat with the good and evil eye? Wait, which one's the good eye? Everywhere we look, there's somehow a Vesa cat. Wait, lore drop, which is the good eye? Which is the good eye? Which is the evil eye? I always have to keep remembering that a lot of times, anime faces should be a lot more scrunched than you think. It has such a cuter look when you, like, push the mouth and the nose closer to the eyes. It has more of that, like, childlike Bambi look. And you really need that when you're trying to do a cute anime girl. Makes all the difference in the world. Makes it so much more appealing. It really does. It really, really changes it. Yes, which eye is the bad one? I'm very curious now. Seriously though, I'm curious. AK pet portrait, yay or nay? People got really quiet when I said that, so... Maybe not. What is a pet portrait? Or what is my idea with the Arknights part? I'm just thinking because, like, the way that these animals are drawn is so visually appealing in a way that we normally do not see. It's like semi-realism. And most pet portraits are just pure realism. I would not do pets as operators unless you, like, directly gave me the design, because that would be a lot to ask to invent. No, I'm just saying, like, art style for gacha, basically. I'm saying, like, your pet in this style. Because a lot of people do not draw animals in this style. It's very much a gacha thing. It's kind of like how people say, like, you know, I draw your pet looking like a Pokemon or something. That kind of thing. I gotta completely turn around in my head. What did you think I meant? Did you think I meant your pet as an operator? If I was better at clothing design, maybe I would, but it's hard for me to come up with that kind of stuff. I also was having these thoughts when I saw the promo art for the zoo, and I was looking at some of the zoo animals, and I'm like, the way that this is drawn is so appealing. I mean, I guess that's another option, drawing like a cat with Mousse's hat and everything. But no, I was thinking something that was like, you know, custom with people's pets type of deal. I don't know, silly crow thoughts. I probably don't need any more crow thoughts right now, but I was just throwing it out. Instead of YCH, it's YPH. You know what rhymes with crow thoughts? I'm afraid to answer that. Or ask. That doesn't rhyme at all. No, that does not rhyme still. No thoughts. Alright. If I had this, like, as line art with a little bit of a quick clean over, would this, like, be valid? Because if this is valid, it would save so much time. And go all around here. See if we can get all the way around, and then do a little bit of cleanup after. Alright. Fight thoughts works because I'm rhyming thoughts with thoughts. That's literally not how it works. This is on a rage bait roll today. Alright. That looks better. I want to make sure that I extend that just in case. We'll go around here too. Being myself and everyone's getting mad. Well, if your self involves biting people, then yes, people are allowed to get mad. Alright. We will Grab these. Okay. See if we can do this. I'm gonna grab base color here. I'm not sure if I should start with a base color. I don't really know how I want to do this, but we're just gonna play around with what we can and try it, okay? We'll do the same with the shading color. And then let's try to do like a soft blush here. And then maybe a little bit of a highlight here. And we'll highlight the rest of the face a little bit. No, I should probably do the eyes on separate layer, because the eyes can be really complex sometimes, so... Probably do that separately. And then we'll grab the shadow here. We'll do the whole shadow around. So we know that it's gonna take up a lot of room. And then we'll grab the lace as well. I'm gonna do this halfway because otherwise it's too hard to try to do all in one go. Alright. That's a good layout. We'll do the same thing over here, and then we'll see what we need to adjust. So I think the colors are still a little bit off. But it's hard to tell until we've gotten all of our base color in. And I'm also still not sure about what lighting style I want for this. That part is cream. Let's get her base hair here as well. And probably do like a little bit of an overlay. Because it's not quite accurate for the skin tone right now. There we go. We'll do an overlay and then we'll reduce it a little. I'm still like not really sure if I want this in the, like, if I want deep shadows or not. Maybe on one side. Maybe we'll try that. Make that a little bit lighter so it blends easier. Forgot to draw in her, her little ear fluff, so we'll just paint that in now. There we go. The underside is also cream, it looks like. So we'll make sure to add that too. This part is white, is cream. I probably should have... Any little detail that I missed, I'll have to paint over later. So, like, the edges of the boots should show slightly, but... Or maybe not. Maybe I can fake it. Because it ends about here. We'll see. I think what we'll do is I'll... grab that. We'll make a... overlay. Or, yeah, let's do linear burn. We'll reduce that a little bit. I want it to be slightly more saturated. Maybe like a cool gray would be good. Alright. And then I can go in and erase that. Kind of hard to see the shadow because it's a darker color, isn't it? Alright, we might need to go really hard on the highlights then. Because otherwise it's not really easy to see what's changed. And again, we're just trying things out today. Playing around, seeing what works. Let me see if I can see her tails better. They don't really correspond to her regular color palette, do they? Alright. You think they do? She's calico overall? I can't quite see where it matches, though. Hang on. I guess it... maybe it fades. Maybe I can fade it with her, hair color. They look darker, but to me it's distance haze. No, I agree with you. I'm just trying to figure out what the base color is. Because, oh, they are striped. They are very, very subtly striped. Alright. Let's try to do that then. Maybe that works. And let's color this so it doesn't look like meat. We need it to look like bread. Her face could still be a little bit lighter overall. Everything could really. Alright. Try that. From sweet loaf to meat to meatloaf. Alright, Wilson Fox, have a good rest of your night. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. I hope you sleep well. Alright, let's try something a little bit. Like that. Kinda hard to get the color to behave sometimes, I think. Alright, that's looking a little bit more bread-like. I'll do a lot of paint over, too. A little bits of the bread texture here. Still not really quite getting the look I'm after. Not really sure what it takes though. Let's try a glow layer. Let's try a glow overlay layer. I think that would help, especially where it is here, right? Something to punch this piece up and bring the rest of the highlight differences out. Might be good. That'll probably help a lot too. We'll do a little bit on the inside and on the top. That'll probably help it a decent amount. You can also do the hair highlights while we're at it. Yeah, I like that. And then towards here we can go a little bit. We can go another layer stronger if we need to. Thank you, Triana. I appreciate it. I'm not really sure what else this needs, like, just to behave better, I guess. I don't really know what I would say. We have a lot of calico kitties here, too, so... That works. Dr. Pittenger, hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. And thank you, Angel Maker, I'm glad you think so. Let's see. It's kind of hard to do the calico patterning. Because it's like, it's so amorphous, but you have to at least make it kind of feel right. I use that word a lot lately, amorphous. There we go. Doing artwork too? Finding artwork to put as my logo, banner, and cover art for Arknights in Steam. I'll design as art. Trying to figure out how those paws should be. I guess the paws are usually standard, right? Yeah. I'm gonna grab this color for the bottom of the belly. Get a little bit lighter. There we go. Getting a little bit of a better shading style here. Just in time, back at the best time. Kitty painting. I always get to these points where it's like, you can make it look really good by doing the initial shading. You can make it really good by adding the initial color. And then when you have to start actually going in and doing the detail, and it's like, ah, this is hard. How did I end up getting that streak? That's weird. Let me set this to a dark red so that it flows a little nicer. And then on the outfit, we'll put it back to darker colors. Just sort of softens everything a little. It's not like a pure black that way, just kind of keeps everything a little softer. Alright. We'll make it a little bit lighter, especially like on the hair, where the light is hitting it. Anywhere the light's hitting, we can make the line art lighter and more colorful. Helps to soften everything a little more. Alright, now, because I don't want to run out of time here, so what I think I'll do is I'll figure out what to focus on, what's important to focus on. So I think we'll do eyes next. Why do we have... What is this? Oh, okay. Can probably combine those now. If Mousse can make cheese bread, she'd be my best friend for life. I don't know. She probably could, right? She seems to be very varied in what she can make. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can... quickly pull up one of the example eyes that I've seen recently, because I really want to try it. Hang on one sec. I know I recently saved a picture like it, so... Okay. We're probably gonna do a lot of paint over. A little bit more of a stronger contrast here. And then the highlights are gonna go right above the eyelash. I think this might need to be moved a little bit. Feels like the mouth is sort of falling off. Yeah, that's better. Let's make it a little higher. Oh, that didn't work. Doesn't help if you break it. Let's move it a little bit. A little bit more. We might have to change the chin a little. That's fine. Yeah, that's a little bit better. And this will look better if we move the nose. Let me look here at the line art. Yeah, it feels a little bit more natural. Let me grab her color here. See how that looks? Does she have... Can't tell if she has fang or not, or if that's a flesh fang. Might be flesh fang. Maybe make the mouth a little bit larger. Alright, do I want to start doing overpainting yet? Almost. I'm gonna do the little details. And then we'll do overpainting, I think. Seems early, but I think we're okay to do so. So for overpainting, I'm just kind of gonna go over and add any of the little extra design details. So, like over here. Not gonna be able to get it perfectly, but, you know, as best as I could when we did the, when I did the daily paintings, just to show there's something here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just an idea. Just helps bring the outfit to life a bit more. It makes it feel less empty, too. We'll just go all the way around. Huh. Might have gotten one of her details wrong. Hang on a sec. Ah, I forgot the other... I forgot the inner sleeve after the... Okay, you know what? I'll paint that in. Somebody remind me to paint that in, please. Hard to remember every single detail. I forgot her sleeves. Artist freedom, different outfit? No, I'll add them in, it's fine. Doesn't take too long, especially if I'm just, doing it really roughly. I also forgot a lot of details doing this, jeez. Alright. Let's just do that real quick then. Forgot a lot of details. Okay, real quick. Real quick. Quick like a bunny, quick like a stargazer. We're just gonna get the general idea of where each thing needs to be, and then we paint over. Won't take long. I'm just going right over it, over the whole layer. The comfort of being able to just paint over what you're doing is important. So we'll just do it like this. We'll just grab the inside here. And look at that. See? It's totally fine. And just throw it right on. Never happened. Add a quick outline around it. All good. And none is the wiser unless you were in here and stream. Very important to just be able to very, very quickly make adjustments on the fly. And then, you know, boom, there we go. Still got it. This outfit is so cool. Honestly, I'd never see this much details if you didn't draw it. It's one of those things where, like, it doesn't really seem like it's very detailed until you kind of just go into it and explore it. I find that to be the case with pretty much any operator I end up drawing, is like, oh, this isn't very complex, and then you start, and then it's like, why is this suddenly so much more than I realized? It's a really weird, like, after effect of drawing all of the outfit details. I don't know how it happens, but it's like, you don't see all the details until you're actively pursuing, accuracy. I don't know why that is, though, honestly. Because you would not think it was that detailed, and then it's more detailed than you thought. I don't know how that ends up working. I'm glad I can, you know, bring attention to the hard work that the artists do, though. It's a lot to design. Alright, Stockler, have a good rest of your night. Thank you for stopping by. I think what we'll do is we'll throw in a quick abstract background. I think purple is a good contrasting color, right? And I think I'll just throw in some texture. Let's see, I have some really rough texture. Whatever we can find. Just something to fill the piece in. What else can we do? Color pattern? There we go. Let's do one of those. Sure. Ugh! Ah! Alright, that's not what I want. we'll play with a few of these, see what works best. I just have some, like... Oh, man, these are way too small. I have some random patterns that you can play with in Clip Studio. We'll just throw in one and see what looks good. That'd be a good one. I can make that one a little smaller. That's a good one. These are all free from Clip Studio, so you don't have to worry too much. Alright, let's try any of those. Let's see here. We've got... It's not bad. That one I don't that one I kind of like, actually. Let's see. Let me rasterize this. And what happens if we try to make that purple? It's not bad. Kind of like, I think I might like the flowers, though. It might be the most fitting here. This, like, subtle flower texture. And it has some variation in color, too, which I like. Maybe we'll add in some purple to the bottom side to let the light shine through again. Kind of like that. Very nice and simple, easy, just throw in an existing background from Clip Studio Paint themselves, you know? Adding the purple half really made it pop. That's because I'm like, I'm selectively pushing your attention where I want it to go. So I'm making the purple and yellow, which are opposite colors, and I'm focusing the yellow on the faces of the characters. So that one goes down in focus and the other goes up in focus. I'm intentionally manipulating, haha. Let's add a little bit more orange. I think it fits. I think this is supposed to be a little bit more orange. Alright, we don't want overlay, we just want to reduce it a little. There we go. A little bit more of a color punch. Alright. I think I'll try doing a little bit of overpainting here. Pushing attention away, like if I stop watching TikTok. Pushing attention away and like, I don't want you to focus here, I want you to focus up here where the animals are. Where this animal, there's multiple animals, but like, I can try to guide you where I want the focus for the viewer to be, if that makes sense. I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit with some overpainting now. And this isn't gonna be like, you know, crazy finished piece. This is like, we're just doing a little bit of cleanup and making a piece that looks decent. And that's my goal. I'm getting like a little bit of extra fur texture and things like that. If I had more time, I could go crazier with the overpainting, but we're just trying to get a nice idea down. And you can see that, it, like, you know, in just a minute, just doing a little overpaint like that, it already just cleans it up so nicely. So we just go over and do stuff like that. And it really helps a lot. The more you do overpainting, the more, I was saying earlier, you get to this point where, like, you're kind of okay killing your darlings in an art piece for the betterment of the piece. Like, we didn't do line art the whole time, so we could keep changing it until we got a composition that looked really good. And the less married you are to your idea, the more that you can change it around to make the idea better overall. Which I think is a really important skill set to learn. I learned that once in an art class because the teacher was talking about a time when they had a work deadline and the computer just, you know, the whole art piece, he didn't lose everything, but he had lost like the last 20 or so hours of the piece, and it was kind of a do or die moment, and he just ended up painting over everything. He just, you know, tried to make something look good. He lost the 20-hour version, but he ended up doing, like, a 2-hour version where everything just kind of felt like it was good for the assignment and was painterly and appealing. So, when you hear stuff like that, it kind of makes you want to learn how to just be okay with a satisfyingly nice imperfection-looking piece. That's why I don't really ever want to do commissions for things like VTuber models anymore. They're so precise. They take so much work. They have to be absolutely perfect, and I don't want to do things that are precise. I am starting to really prefer the imprecise pieces. They look more interesting to me, and definitely stuff that AI can't do. And I think that that's kind of becoming more of a trend, too. A lot of people are looking more for those organic, artistic-looking pieces that the AI should not be able to replicate. We are getting to the point where the AI can kind of replicate a little bit of it, which is terrifying, but it's still a really good skill set to have in general. If you're doing art for people. One of the artists I watch phrased that curtly as "delete your art." Yeah, there you go, right? It's like you have to be okay doing all the paint over work, deleting your art. That's pretty accurate, honestly. I mean, in his case, the work was deleted, and he had to come up with a solution ASAP. His work was genuinely deleted. Not of his own choice, either. It's like, you know, you gotta, if that kind of stuff happens to your work, you gotta, pick it back up and figure out, okay, what can I do that'll, fulfill what I need to in the limited time I have left before I get fired. And if you know how to do it, you can save your job. In the sense that you have something that can be delivered at all, you know? I always get so thrown off with shadow shapes. I never know how to make them look good. But yeah, that's definitely something that I've really taken to heart lately. Should also be a darker color. We have a lot more movement here than we were going to originally, which makes me really happy. Like, a lot more movement. And again, I probably should put most of my focus on this cleanup here in the face, because that's what most people are going to pay attention to. So I'm only doing, like, the minimum I need to for the outfit, just to not make it look like it's totally falling apart. And then the focus should all be where the face is. And I'll do a little bit here as well, because I kind of neglected this area the whole time. I'm not gonna do all of the lace, but let me see what I can do. One thing is I'm going to quickly add in the cat's eyes, just so they don't look so empty. And then over here too, I guess these we can, what, are we gonna, we'll make them green. I probably won't do the green and magenta, but we can make them green. Alright, need to go back to this. Something a little lighter here, and then we'll do the highlights. I need the characters to sort of look like they're staring. It's kind of hard to not make them look like he's off in space. Can the highlight be lower? How do I make a cat look like they're looking downward? Might just have to do it the other way. I'm not sure how to do this. Alright, let's try this way, and then... Yeah, it's a little bit better. It's not great, but it'll do for today. I'll make the forehead a little bit more pronounced. There we go. Oh, I'm looking mad. I'm just trying to do like the... Alright, maybe I'll do the shading. Maybe I'll do it like that or something. We'll do it like this. We'll make the eyes really wide. And then we'll add, you know, slight whiskers here. Actually, what if they were white? Would that be better? Yeah, let's do them in white. I'm glad you like cat. Do something like that. There, that's close enough, I think. I'm gonna do the eyes on another layer. Try to see if I can do this. This eye technique I keep seeing everyone do. I really want to learn. You make everything look really soft by coloring in the lashes. And it always looks so delicate, and I would love to learn it. And then you kind of leave it colored here. And it ends up just looking really nice. You have to be really delicate with it, though. It only works if it's done delicately. Where every shape is like kind of its own thing. Telling you, as long as the face looks good, the rest can be kind of whatever. It's the face everyone's gonna focus on. I'm trying to give enough of white here to... Trying to give enough white here to make her eyes look more surprised. Might actually not be able to use the technique that I was thinking of today. Might need to change it for expression being stronger. I need to push it overall. Let me just grab the whole thing and just drag it upward. Slightly. Yep. Yep. We need that element of surprise, literally. My cat is laying next to my phone, listening to you, Star. I think she likes your voice. Thank you. I appreciate your cat. The cat in the air sends me. It's a goofy cat. Alright, there we go. So where do we have that? I think that looks... Well, I did all that work and now I'm wondering if the other version is better. I'm not sure now. Other version might... the other version looks more like Mousse. So, maybe... Alright. And we'll just keep it where it was then. After all that. Question got lost in work? Did I miss something? Oh, do I take commissions for PNG tubing? For PNG tubing I could. I'm hesitant to take anything on like, full live 2D these days, but, PNG, yeah. I don't have my commissions open at the moment, but I do have a VGen if you want to, get notified when I open next. Hang on one sec. I really need to crunch down on my, wait list. Because the mail club is sort of, like, admittedly gotten in the way of that, so I need to try to balance that. Like, Donna, awesome. I need to fix this up. I really need to, yeah, get back into doing commission work too. Because I want to as well. There we go. Alright, that's a good mix. That's a good mix. I need to get more comfortable being able to do commissions on stream. I think that would definitely help. I can do this level on stream, and then off stream I want to do all the correction. Did you see the concept sketches for your Stargazer? I did, yeah, Trion. They look really cool. Alright. Let's focus on the... Let's get the hand and the bread done. Let's just make the hand look slightly more normal. Just slightly. I have no idea if people would be interested in seeing me editing on stream. Editing is tricky because you're dealing with, like, needing to listen to the same audio over and over. And the audio, the audio is harder to listen to on repeat, right? Because I've had the same thoughts too. I was like, oh, could I ever do, like, video editing on stream? And then I'm like, oh, that would be really difficult. I think if it's not with audio, though, you probably could. Let's go over the whole thing. Clean up the whole thing here. So we can do like a nice glaze or something. Editing stream would have to be pseudo just chatting too. Oh yeah. Usually add SFX and audio background at the end anyway. If you just did like, you know, if you did it like this, if it was like just chatting and art, and then it was just like getting all the visuals down, and then you had, you know, some other audio like background music or something, I think that would be very doable. I think that would be very doable. For me, I always need the audio when I'm doing any kind of video work, unless I'm doing like graphics for the video work, like the last time we did the animatic stuff, right? That has its own can of worms. But there we go. I like that. But yeah, I definitely think that you could, if the visuals are taking like time and you want to get it done on stream. I think there would be nothing wrong with that. Alright, let's try to see if we can very quickly add a little bit extra to her leggings here. I'm gonna do something like that. I'm seeing how complicated this is as I'm drawing it. As I'm going over it. I'm trying to like blindly follow what this is looking like right now. This is here, and then I don't know if this would pop up from the corner, but even if it does, we'll just add that in really fast. Just in case it would, I'm not really sure. Something like that is fine. Works well enough. And then, what's a really quick way that we can do the, losing my brain. The lace. We will just grab this and add shadow underneath. Just sort of fake it. Get something that kind of looks good and is a little bit more painterly. We're faking a lot of it, but that's okay. It looks better, and that's what we're after. And yes, it's technically a shadow over a shadow, but as long as it looks good at a quick glance. Alright. I feel like this would be so much stronger if I could do the crazy color theory. Well, that's a very fast improvement, so we'll take it. Also, I know that, like, for anyone who's talking about commissions and stuff, I know you see me rushing this crazily on stream, but please, like, I feel like I need to say this. Rest assured that if I ever do work with you in the future, I don't rush a commission like this. This is just because I know that it's just personal work and I'm not, like, I don't need to, do it for any, like, crazy professional need, you know? I'm just trying to get in daily practice, essentially. So this is my daily practice level of consideration. Which is why I feel like it's very hard for me to do commissions on stream, because I feel like when it's on stream, I'm not able to pour as much focus in it, and some people would rather just see the piece being done on stream. A lot of people are just fine with that being the way it is, but it always makes me a little bit anxious still. Some people really like having the stream dedicated to them, essentially. So it's whatever people prefer. I just don't yet have the confidence to make my stream work and my regular work a one-to-one, and part of the reason is also because I do just chatting. A lot of people who their stream quality is the same as their regular quality, they don't talk to chat. They just kind of like bunker down and kind of have it as like, okay, I'll put on some music, but you know, I'm working, you know, that kind of thing. I can't get myself to do that on stream. I'm like, guys, I'm not like in work mode. I'm in casual chat mode. So depending on how you want your piece, some people prefer it in casual chat mode. Some people are like, no, please don't do it on stream. Please just focus. So whichever way you prefer, I can oblige by, but they do end up with different outcomes. Which is why I tend to not offer it, but some people are very insistent. I feel like I need to put a disclaimer there, like, you know, I will do it on stream, but you will get, like, the just chatting level of focus. If you are okay with that, you know, please proceed at your own risk. It doesn't ever mean you get a bad piece. And there's still always parts that I do off stream, too. But it's more like, you know, do you want your art filled with silly moments and camaraderie? Or grind work? And I am fine with either. 100% fine with either. Some people prefer their work to come from a goofy place. It's all based on what makes you more comfortable. Alrighty. There we go. Nice, easy, quick design there. Just getting the right idea down. Alright, we are going to fix some of her hair here. That's the thing with anime art, is that, you know, the hair is so iconic, so if you get the hair looking right, the rest of the piece can kind of fall in place. Thank you, THLPH, I appreciate it. Don't worry, I know very well the difference between doing stuff for yourself and for clients. There you go. You're the artist, I feel the client should have no say how you want to entertain us. They get a say on if they want their piece done on a stream or not. Because some people really prefer it. Like when Sea Hero does commissions with me, he vastly prefers them done on stream. And I tell him, I say, you know, you're going to get a stream level if you do that. But he's always very insistent on it. The next piece I do for him this year will also probably be streamed in some form. And I think, you know, the more used to the less precise style, the easier that is to do. I'm gonna make this, like, a little bit off here. There we go. But before that, I really do need to, I really do need to start going back in because some people have been waiting a very long time. And they are pretty much next on the list, and they should be, I should be able to get to them. Alright, Akra, have a good night, sleep well, thank you for stopping by. So I want to finish looking for art for Steam because Google Picture Filter seems to do nothing. Oh, jeez. Yeah, trying to avoid all the AI is not easy these days, is it? If you just add a little bit of texture and detail into a character's hair like this, you can make it feel much more alive. It doesn't need to have too much extra to it, but just a little bit of a paint over helps. Alright. Let me see if I can use... How's this looking? That's looking better. Let me start using a little bit of a softer brush. We can get a little bit of a mixture in here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with Kuro. Kuro's just a comfort still for me. Kuro is a comfort brush option. I know what to expect out of Kuro, I can work with it. Alright, we'll clean up. Actually, we'll go out of Kuro and we'll... Kuro is a very soft brush, and it really helps when you're blending things. And this brush, the Cuppy brush, is much stronger and much more solid, so it's better when you're doing paint over. So I'm just getting the paint over part here. And then Kuro is really good for blending in extra colors. I still don't really feel like I have my brush technique where it needs to be. I've seen some really beautiful, like, overlay techniques with brushes. I'm just kind of going back and forth based on what is easier on the wrist. Based on the direction that I have to paint it in. There we go. What did I do? Okay. Alright. I'm getting lost in how I set this up. Google, I'm looking for Arknights art in the format of 1920 by 430. Google answers with, oh, you mean this 5,000 by 8,000? Hey, if you can get that quality, that is great. I really wish it was easier to find the higher quality. But you can always take a, you can always take any of the pieces and, just resize them in a free program. If you don't have something like Photoshop or Clip Studio, my moderator uses a program called Photopea, which is like Photoshop online for free. So you could set up a canvas in 1920 by 430 and then just manipulate and move the picture to fit. The harder part is when the picture is at a lower quality, because then you can't do anything. But if the picture's at a high quality, you can manipulate it pretty easily. Use Photopea for edits too? Okay, so two of my one of my moderators and HR use Photopea. Anyway, that's what I would do. It sounds like you've got the hard part down, which is finding the quality art. So now you just gotta size it. All right. As a non-on person, I just use GIMP to export, at least in the formats I need. I've never used GIMP, so I don't really know how to help with GIMP, but Photopea is like basically just Photoshop. Just like a really watered down version of Photoshop. But if you just make a canvas in the size you need and then import a picture and then size it to the canvas and then export it. Do you know how to do that? If you don't know how to do that, I can help you with it. It's like a 2-minute job. There we go. Hair's looking a lot nicer too. Alright. I think the best way that I want to sort of wrap this up then is... Let me see what's bothering me. Alright. I forgot to do one of the stripes here. We'll do that. on this side as well. I want to clean up the hands a little, just to make sure they're not, like, super awkward, right? And then what I might do is I might just make, like, a little bit of a cartoony swoosh here. Let's do that with Kuro, so we can soften it. And make sure I don't accidentally put it on the hands that we just fixed. See if that works or not. Yeah, that's not bad. It does give that silly little feeling of movement, ever so slightly. We want to do that. We'll do it like... We'll do that, and we'll fade it here. We'll duplicate it, and make it a little softer. Probably fine the way it is. I look with the... Yeah, we'll keep it in white. Just enough? Just okay, just because you don't know your way around the program. Yeah, that's fair. The UI can be very confusing sometimes. Can I curve this? Come on. There we go. Yeah, I like that. I like it. Yeah, okay, we get a little bit of that action motion. It's a little overly cartoony, but I think for this it honestly works. I'll just get rid of a few little extra strokes here that are bothering me. Not too many, just a few. I still have my perfectionist tendencies in some form, right? That's not gonna go away ever. But, you know, just cleaning up a little bit of it helps. Even if I can't do all of it. Just a little bit. Just to clean it up. Alright, and then... I think what we will do is we will go all the way back here and grab our color, set it to a dark blue, and shift it over a little. Yeah, that's good. This also helps make the swoosh show up a little better. Move the cat tail pieces a little. And we'll just blur it slightly. That makes it a little more finished feeling. We'll do the same with the cats, but we'll make it a lot subtler. And with the cats, we need to erase around the edge a little bit here. Alright. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over the whole thing. I'm gonna put a layer filter on it for brightness and contrast. Just push that a little bit more. over the whole thing. And the only other thing I want to do is I want to take kind of a blue-gray, and with the Kuro brush, I just want to sort of throw it in some places here. It does not matter how I do it, I'm just trying to add a little bit of variety and extra. And then I'm gonna grab a more saturated version of it here. And it'll look fine once we reduce it, and it'll just be very subtle. And we'll do the same with a little bit of a pink. And what it's doing is I'm just adding a little bit of extra color that we normally would not get. So it adds visual interest that way. Especially in the darker areas where we weren't able to play with it as much. And I'll do it a little bit on the top here too. And then just a little bit of random specks of other colors too, doesn't hurt. It seems strange, but you'll see in just a sec. It gives a lot more visual interest that way. A lot more visual interest. See, this is like pure black before, and now we have a lot more interest now. We'll reduce that a little. Not really sure if I like the green there, but we'll just sort of move around. Makes the whole thing pop so much more. Through barely any work. Barely any extra work. And we got something that just feels a lot nicer. Right? Barely any extra work. And for this part, I'll just do manually. A lot of different color variation that way. And I don't think if there's any other thing that I want to do. Oh! Last thing I want to do. This really helps too. Very simple. We're gonna render in some noise. Scale it down. Make it a little thicker. And then we're gonna hit OK. We're gonna turn this to an overlay too. And it's very subtle, but it makes everything just feel a little bit more traditional. Gives again, it softens the piece. And then sometimes I also like to go in with, where is it? Something like this. And then set that to overlay too. And it just adds a little bit extra push, and brings some of our contrast back too. So this is like without it, and with it, and you don't have to worry about what's happening in the background, but essentially, we'll reduce that just a little tad bit more as well. So it's pretty subtle, We don't want to cause too much attention to it. You might want to push the brightness back a tad, or the contrast. And make sure the overlay is not getting in the way of my color too much. And then we will save this. And we will say selection from layer. and crop. And there we go. There's our whole painting, start to finish. I like the panic on her face. It's good to do, it's good to do practice pieces like this, right? How long is this one? I don't have the time, I don't have an accurate clock on here. But there we go. And it's good practice to see if you can do, like, a full finished character in a limited time frame, right? Geishka, thank you, I appreciate it. Now draw her eating the cake. Maybe some other time. Maybe some other time. But yeah. We were able to get a nice finish here. So I think with that, we are probably going to call it there. If you are new here, do consider joining our Discord, subscribing on YouTube, following on Twitch. If you do join the Discord, please make sure to grab the rules roll so that you're able to access the rest of the Discord. Otherwise, the Discord is, it'll look very small and insignificant to you, but just grab the rules roll and you'll be able to access the rest of the Discord. There is an Arknights channel. Please mind that there are threads for anything that is spoilers to where I'm at. And, with that all being said, I will see you guys on Saturday, and we will be back to the insanity that is Chapter 10. Alright. Definitely make sure to follow and subscribe if you haven't yet. I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you may be in the world, or the many worlds beyond. And thank you very much.